Hello everyone, this is Blinder Gapi. So welcome to part 2 of the sci-fi cylinder modeling. So in this video, we're going to texture this or shade this procedurally using random flows shading feature, which will be in the update, and which will use the or my grand shader nodes setups. So let's open the materials and this happened date grudge metal building and grudge also we're going to use grudge metal and render test render. So first off, I'm going to create a vertex color on this. It already has it, but let's go and repeat the process. So random vertex color. Also the black and white preset. I'm going to change this to black and white. The name to black and white. And in the next update, uh, this preset will also be there. So you can just, if you don't like colors, for example, you know what? Let's go ahead and try color. And let's go orange. And for the value, increase this to something like point 0.6. And okay, reduce the red or increase the red. Play around with the saturation, the hue. Try this one. Okay. So in the material, initially the grunge metal shader will be like this. The main color will be the RGB. But if you use random vertex color, you can just, if you want to use this on this node here, you can just delete that and go ahead and install the node wrangler add-on in Blender. So this will let you have this submenus like this, where you can see the color attributes or attributes of the active object. So the script creates a vertex color named vertex color right here. So select that and plug the color output into the first input of the color mix node. Okay. Let's see what we got. So this is the colored version. This is the colored version. Let's try and get rid of the green if we can actually get rid of the green. And just use orange and red. So green, okay, that. And we're using sharp, mark sharp, okay, but blue. Okay, now blue is this U max and U min. Oh, we need the green to create the orange color. Okay, and decreasing the minimum of the red gets rid of the green, but we have orange. We have the orange color here. Okay, let's try this. And then we can play around with the saturation. So let's go. There we go. And also with the Node Wrangler add-on, you can, for example, in Quick Dirt, you can Control Shift click on this, and this will connect it to the output material output node, and lets you see the result of the Quick Dirt, only the Quick Dirt, and not the result of all the nodes in the material. So if you click on this, you can see that it creates a path towards the output node. There we go. And to get back the default view, which is the whole material or the whole node, you can just click on the main BSDF that you're using. So like this one here. So if I go ahead and use it like that, preview the quick dirt and get back to the material. So this will let you quickly modify the parameters or the properties of each shader nodes here without the other nodes getting in the way. So for those asking about the short tutorials for per operator tutorials for Creative Bundle and Random Flow, Creative Bundle already has that. I mean, Creative Flow already has that in its product page. So for each operator, there is a short tutorial for each. Random Flow has not uh, doesn't have that because of the rapid development. But when I pass this update, I will be starting work on that and also making the files multi-file, properly multi-file this time. Multi-file since split into different files. So we have the init file, the operators, the functions, and all that. Uh, it doesn't impact you, but makes my work for future updates much easier. You can actually use color stops on the so we can just get like one or two colors or minimum of two colors for the randomization. So random vertex color. So right here in hard gradient, this is the color stop. This is essentially like a color ramp right here. And so if I click on, so for example, going to, so for the U, which is the color, we're going to create a color step. So click on this. And then, so these are the color steps. So right now, the default is 2, which is the minimum. So that means that um, the object is actually using just 2 U values, but I'm still seeing multiples, and that should be the saturation. So let's click on saturation as well. So press shift to select multiple on this. Press shift, Shift click to add multiple or shift on that as well. And we have, what do we have? We have one, two, is it, I think it's the value as well. Okay, so this limits the color, the actual color that we're using. So let's see the result. Depending on your machine, you can actually um, modify the redo panel when the viewport is rendering, but I don't advise it for lower end PCs. Let's try this one, and let's deal with glass. So create a new material. Going to name this glass, and let's just use the principal BSDF. IOR is 1.450. Transmission is set to, let's set the transmission to 1. Render. So if we edit the IOR, let's edit the roughness as well to make it more reflective. So we can't really see the inside too much. And if we modify the IOR to see that, slowly loses the glass quality. So what we're going to do is instead uh, create a hackish or hack solution. Just a quick solution for that using transparency, shader, and select mix. Then shader again, then use transparent. And for the to control the factor of the transparency, we're going to use the ghost node or the layer weight node. Then probably Fresnel or facing. So also to control the output, we're going to use color ramp. You can use the blend, but I like to use the color ramp. Okay, we want the transparency to radiate from the center. So let's go ahead and flip the color ramp. Okay, so facing is better. We can smoothen the transition by choosing another interpolation B-spline. Okay, so now we can see the center or what's inside the glass. Okay, so let's grungify the glass as well. Clicking on the metallic part of the model, Control C, click on the quick dirt and Control C, then switch over to the glass movie. So let's try and experiment with this to see which node it will have more impact, will give us the better result. So threshold acts like a color ramp, and there, and let's control the color using color ramp. So for the base default value here, I want it to be just black and white, so I can use these colors for the other properties without having to use saturation. So for this, since I use this for the base color, and I don't want color here, but I want color for the base color input node, then I attach the color up here so I can introduce the color here like this. Let's actually reverse. This is white, and this should be the one that's the color. There we go. So we plugged it to the weight, and also maybe we can also do it for the roughness. No, IOR. No. So weight and base color. Then we're going to introduce cracks on the. Actually, we can use this for the normal, and for the detail, we can use it for the. We can attach a bump node for that. Set to height. Set this to height. Initially, if you connect it, it will connect to the normal. Change it to height, and then you can just modify the strength. So for modifying the bump, start with a really fairly high value at first, so you can see the effect on the viewport, and then slowly decrease the value and uh, to choose the right value that you think is right for model. Okay, let's go. We're going to create another detail for that, which is the cracks. So for that object, I think the glass is not UV, so we're just going to use object because for this instance, using UV on object is really not that important. So delete this and change it to go to texture, change it to Voronoi, and plug this to vector, color, plug it to the normal of this, and then so basically this is the way to add the effects of the bumps. And for this, replug it to the height and set it to 1 just to let us observe the value, the stronger value to observe the effect of the bump and then slowly decrease its effect. Okay, so also node wrangler hotkey for the color ramp, press backfade. For any node, press backspace to reset it to the default. Okay. Now let's adjust the the scale of the Voronoi, and its intensity. This is a fairly basic setup to create a broken glass effect, but you can take this as a starting setup to create your own more complicated shader node to create the shattered glass effect or broken glass effect. Yes, we don't need the color up. Okay, let's try and make use of the shrink wrap and also show you the new toggle that I made for it. So let's create a text here. I'm going to show you another way to create to use the quick dirt that I made. Quick dirt shader node that I made. So text, select. I've selected this. I want the text to be created here. So select this and then shift cursor selected text F9 for the redo panel or redo menu, and then change the align to view so it will the text will be aligned to face the angle of the viewport or the view or the look angle of the viewport. I'm gonna select something a new font. You won't be able to see the window because OBS cannot matrix. So let's just think of something, some random word. Uh, cylinder, sci-fi cylinder test. So, and in order to shrink wrap this, we're going to use creative flow, Control Shift X, extras, and texture mesh. Let's go to wireframe view to see the faces or the resolution texture mesh. It starts out at 6. So start out at 6 and then slowly increase the octave depth. So press OK. F9 to bring back the view panel, or you can press it here, or you can open it here. F9. So be careful with increasing it too much because it can crash Blender. So we are just looking, what you're looking at here is for the right octave depth that will uh, keep the structure of the text and also allow for the shrink wrap to have these many faces to play with. So I think 7 is enough. The structure is maintained and we have a lot of faces for the shrink wrap to work with. Okay. So let's position it. Let's help the shrink wrap this object better. So let's position it better before actually initializing the shrink wrap. Okay, I think this is good. Select the font mesh, and then the object you're going to shrink wrap it to, and then use data transfer for the banding to the sphere, and the shading of the font is smooth. And also a new toggle here, which is the floater mesh, essentially gets rid of some of the or most of the um, visibility toggles in cycles, so it looks like the font object is part uh, of this object underneath. So floater mesh, So we're going to bring back the redo panel using F9, and then the center clipping only works if you have the mirror modifier. So this is asymmetric, so we can't really use it here. Offset, just offset this a bit. There we go. So if you see if there's no data transfer, there's some banding. Okay, the floater mesh is actually, we click here. It's the same as the floater mesh used by random panels and random cells. So if we look over here in the viewport, in the visibility, it turned off all this and just leaves the camera. Okay, and let's create a basic math for this and render. So try and look at the object and the outline. If I turn this on, you can see shadows affecting the object underneath. But if I turn this off, it looks like the this is part of the mesh. It's part of this mesh. So that's the idea behind the floater mesh. Okay, so we're uh, going to copy this quick shirt and use it for transparency on this font object. Shader, mix, shader, mix, you add mix and transparency. And then to control the factor of the mix shader, let's use the quick dirt and see what we get. Okay, you can use the offset to change the location of the dirt mask. But avoid using too much values because this will eventually make the effects as make it look like a grain texture. Look at that. Okay, we have our decal. We can mirror this, I think, on the Other side, cursor selected, and click on the font object and set the pivot to the 3D cursor. Shift D, duplicate, Control M, and then middle mouse click and select the X axis. Okay, there we go. So on this side, and then we're going to scale this negatively on the Y axis, -1, and then apply the scale. You can just array this. Wait, okay. Cursor selected. Select this. Origin to 3D cursor. And then select all the faces. Control Shift X, creative flow, extras, fast circle array, origin. Oh, okay. Apply the rotation and scale. Then Shift X, fast circle array, origin. There we go. And then mirror on mirror. Click on this and then press save. There we go. So I wonder if this will look right. No, it doesn't. Um, okay. Apply. And then these two here, agent point. Click on this. Select all these words. Scale on this axis, -1. Oh no, I messed it up. But yeah, I think this is right. The data transfer is done. Okay. Shrink wrap, blah 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 blah. Okay. Alt N and because we flipped it in edit mode, what happened is it also flipped the normal. So select everything, recalculate outside. Okay. So I think the orientation is now correct. Yeah. So I made this in order for me because I'm too lazy to go to Photoshop or GIMP to create the text decal. So I just created this method. You can also use this on if you design something like a smiley face on a plane. So for example, like that. Still, wait. When did the I didn't have the screencast on all the time. Okay, so texture mesh 6. So just like that. Um, and then you can use the same process to use it as a decal for quick presentation renders. Okay, now all we need is some lighting. H and add a vertex colored material, but we won't use the vertex color, so just toggle this up. Change this to light. Press period in the numpad or home, period in the numpad or home to zoom in to all the nodes and or center all the nodes. Okay, so emission 50, orange. Let's test the look. Okay, that's the effect of the glass, I think. Let's try other HDRIs. Okay, we're back to the same HDRI. Okay, and let's look for spots where we can um, place those lights as well. Actually, select the vertex. Select, select this, and use link flat faces. And select this one. So let's just increase the sharpness to 5 degrees. There we go. And assign material, the light, and let's look at it. Uh, we we need a horizontal line that goes across this one. I think this one's perfect. And assign material, light, let there be light. Let's remove the vertical. Shift X, assign the branch metal. I'll show you another trick for the lines. Select everything. Oh, not everything, just the center part. Hue and select select inner loop region. Redo panel F9. Select bigger. Now we're going to use the spaces to generate we're going to use random cells, number, and offset. Let's offset those faces. Let me clear adjacent faces. Then increase the cuts to make them smaller. And then maybe I'll add the 25. Let's just remove or erase the face or remove the faces that we will want later. So assign material, assign the light. Page. The, the effect of the glass. I'm going to use C, just brush, XF, XF. Oh, I'm supposed to select on the real geometry. Okay. Um, let's try and post this for render. Cursor selected. So the 3D cursor is there. So anything we create will be created on that position. Empty. Just the plane axis. Then shift. Click on this. Shift G. Type all the mesh. Since this is the only mesh in my scene. But if you have other meshes in your scene, then you can just box select or individually select each object. P parent. So when I rotate the empty, the children or the parented objects also rotates with it. Spray the floor, create new material, name it uh, floor, um, home, and then let's see, pick it up, post. So let's modify the base color of the floor, make it darker. And from this, we're going to modify the glass. Yeah, just subtle enough for us to see the inside of the glass and still make the rest of the object still retain the glass like shader. Going to set up the render. So this is my composer nodes. Okay, let's render this at the lowest or nearly the lowest. 2048. Let's try 512. You can't see the render window until it is finished, but let's just wait here. The glass is not. What's the glass? The glass is not rendered. So click on this. So F12 is render. Control is F12 is rendering the animation, which you should be careful at. If you render the animation at the output file, so make sure if you want it in JPEG, but I guess most people don't want it in JPEG. If you set JPEG, you're gonna have a lot of image files in that particular folder. This is actually the first one of the first few times that I use saturated vertex color. Most of the time I just use gray color. Let's try and oh, you can see it. Okay, sorry about that. So this is the result of the uh, render. I think we can still edit the scale of the noise texture, but I think it's pretty much okay. So we have the lights. So for the materials, I'll also include the light, the long, the emission shader nodes that I use for random starship. So I'll include it for the materials that's going to be appended to to the scene. And also for random starship, I will change the sample blend file. Okay, this is our. Let's try and render two of them. Like this. Click on the empty. Shift G. Immediate children. Click on the empty again. Shift D. So we duplicated all the objects and their parenting setup. So if when we move this, we also move the duplicated objects. Let's try 256. It's faster. I'm going to render this. Go to wait again. I'm using 4090 by the way. RTX 4090, so I guess it is faster. Somewhat faster. Especially I rendered like um 40 4,000 samples or 8,000 samples. It's really fast. I think the higher the samples get, more the faster the more you can appreciate its speed. Okay, so this is the result. 256 samples. These blurry areas, I think will look much better if I'm using 4,000 samples or 2,000, but we don't have. I don't want you to wait that long, even if I'm using 1490s. Yeah. I guess the accidental effect of the glass is really good. This part here. So the glass is actually uh, solidified. That's why it's causing this the bending and also the double lights here. So there's a light here, there's a band of light here. This the thickness is provided by the solidify modify. Okay, so this is our shaded model. We didn't use UV this time because we didn't need to. We didn't because we didn't use any image textures. So in the next samples, we're going to try and use image texture and let's just see how I will UV those models. How I UV those 3D models for use for this kind of workflow. But I think this is a nice. This is already a nice thumbnail. So yeah, looks like power module or power coupling something. Okay, so um, this is it for this video. And if you have any questions, use the comment section or the links in the description. Be sure to subscribe if you're just watching for curiosity. I'm also doing Blender tutorials. Subscribe and hit notify. And that's it. Thank you for watching and have a nice day.